2 days after the Nashville statement was released, an op-ed from the New York Times was released titled, "The Nashville Statement is an Attack on LGBT Christians." The article opened with the following statement. "This week, an influential group of evangelical Christians publicly doubled down on intolerance in a message about lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender people that represents a renewed commitment to open bigotry." If you read the Nashville Statement, though, that's not at all true. The Nashville Statement is a clear definition of sexuality and gender identity based on what the Bible says. And it's written and signed by biblical scholars and teachers. These are people who have devoted their lives to learning and teaching what the Bible actually says. There are people like the New York Times columnists who want to grab their torches and pitchforks and go to war against evangelicalists because of the Nashville Statement. And other people are reading the Nashville Statement and they're looking at it and they're saying, there's nothing really new here. One article said, if a group of astronomers issued a major document stating that the Earth revolves around the Sun and the Moon revolves around the Earth, it would be greeted with a shrug of the shoulders. The major difference between that analogy and the Nashville Statement is that most people might not know exactly what evangelical Christians believe. The Nashville Statement has been signed by hundreds of leaders who've devoted their lives to studying and learning what the Bible says so that they can teach it to others. These are guys like John Piper, James Dobson, Russell Moore, Wayne Grudem, John MacArthur, Francis Chan, Matt Chandler, and Johnny Hunt, and many, many others. Many of whom stick very, very closely to the definition of evangelical. And if you don't know what evangelical is, or you need a refresher on the definition, here it is. An evangelical is someone of or according to the teaching of the gospel or the Christian religion. Now, that's important to note because the Nashville Statement is just a condensed, refined, focused look at what the Bible says is right and wrong about sexual relationships. Like, for example, the Bible says that homosexuality is wrong. That's clearly shown throughout the Bible. But the Bible says that the people living sexually immoral lives are not without hope. They have hope. Nor does the Nashville Statement say that people living sexually immoral lives are without hope. Both say that there's hope. The Nashville Statement is a call for change. It's not an attack. Neither the Bible nor the Nashville Statement say that people that live an LGBT lifestyle should be hated. In fact, they both say the opposite. In Matthew 5, it says, "You have heard that it was said, 'You shall love your neighbor and hate your enemy.' But I say to you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you, so that you may be sons of your Father who is in heaven. For he makes his sun rise on the evil and on the good, and sends rain on the just and the unjust. For if you love those who love you, what reward do you have? Do not even the tax collectors do the same? And if you greet only your brothers, what more are you doing than others? Do not even the Gentiles do the same?" By no means is the LGBT community an enemy of the church. For even if it was far enough away from the church for it to be considered an enemy, those following Christ should still be loving them. Article 11 of the Nashville Statement even affirms this call to love. Article 11 states, "We affirm our duty to speak the truth in love at all times, including when we speak to or about one another as male or female. We deny any obligation to speak in such ways that dishonor God's design of his image bearers as male and female." The Nashville Statement is about saying we think that any kind of sexual relationships that is not one man and one female is wrong. And so we need to say something. Let me be clear. We want to care and love for everyone, heterosexual or homosexual. In our loving you, we're going to tell you when we see you doing something wrong. This is something the church is especially bad at. To say we love you and you're making a mistake is hard. In the past, the church has swayed to one side or the other. In the case of homosexual immorality, it's been mostly, we think you're wrong. And in the case of many other sins, it's been, we love you. To people who have chosen to pursue a non-heterosexual lifestyle, I'm sorry on behalf of the church. We have failed you. We do love you, and we believe eternity is at stake. So we want the best for you, but we have not communicated that well. We don't think your lifestyle choices are appropriate, but that does not mean that we do not love you. To the church, it's time to step up our game. Actually, it's far past time to step up our game. When we see sin, we need to speak the truth in love. Both parts of that are equally important. Speaking the truth and doing it in love. We need to confront sin head on, but we cannot fail to continue to love as we confront sin. Don't confront sin or condemn people to make yourself feel better. We need to love people and condemn sin to help people that are in sin fight it. So this video has kind of been like a complete different change than what you've probably seen for the rest of the time on this channel. But it's kind of the direction that we being me and Charlie, are trying to go with this channel. So if you enjoyed this video or thought it was helpful or insightful, join us and subscribe over here, or watch our latest video on the opposite side. Then you will be prepared for more videos, possibly like this one. Definitely eventually more videos all the time like this one. But for now, subscribe and we will see you in the next video. Thanks.